everyone, I'm Cass and this is the Mind Your Being podcast, a space where we'll explore health and what it really means to care for our whole being, our physical, mental and emotional health. Each episode you'll hear from leading health and wellness experts or everyday people who share powerful insights and lived experience. And sometimes it'll be just me, sharing thoughts, tools and reflections from my own journey. More than anything, I want you to feel supported, encouraged and empowered to make informed health choices that feel right for you. If this sounds good to you, please enjoy. Today I'm joined by Lisa Costa, who is our first guest with lived experience, and you'll hear in this conversation Lisa has a genuine passion for helping others. Lisa's health journey began with her own challenges around gut health, which led her to explore different ways of healing and ultimately discover the benefits of essential oils as part of her self-care. Lisa has worn many hats over the years, as you'll hear in the conversation. She's been a hairdresser, barista, personal trainer, and she currently finds deep purpose in her work as a disability support worker. When we get to this part of the conversation, you'll hear Lisa light up. She absolutely has a passion for caring for others and it really shines through. Lisa shares the ups and downs of living with her own gut issues, what she's learned about holistic health, how she came to grow a business around essential oils, and how underneath her motivation is led by her values of wanting to help others live with good health. She's a beautiful soul. I hope you'll enjoy this conversation as much as I did. Please enjoy. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Cass.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I wanted to let the listeners know that we were introduced through a beautiful mutual friend who, when she found out I was doing this podcast, she's like, oh, you have to speak to Lisa. She knows so much about health and wellbeing and she'd be a great guest. And yeah, so we connected and here we are today. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about you and your background to share with the listeners.
Thank you, firstly, for having me here, and thank you, Kerry, for connecting us. It's a pleasure to be here and to share my journey. I am a wife, a mum, all the things, and have always been really interested in health and wellness and, being able to, look after myself as best I can in the most natural way. So, yeah, hairdresser, personal trainer, barista, disability care worker, the list is long. So, yeah.
Yeah, you've had quite a few careers, but I'm sensing like with hairdresser, support worker, you're obviously really good with people.
I love people. I'm a people lover.
Yeah. Me too. When we first met to talk about you coming on the podcast, you shared your personal experience with some health issues related to your gut health and how you worked through those issues and have overcome them for yourself. So let's start with your gut health journey. What were some of the first signs that something wasn't right for you?
That's an interesting question because I'm pretty sure in the beginning I didn't draw the direct line back to gut health. I had a lot of health challenges growing up, hormonal challenges, skin issues, digestive issues, and did spend a lot of time backwards and forwards and in and out of hospital trying to find, what was going on. So it wasn't a direct correlation to my gut health. But I did discover that later, that's what it was. And, a lot of it was driven from inflammation. So, yeah, it was a bit of a journey and it took me a long time to get to here. But, it's a great place to be right now.
That is quite a journey in and out of hospital. How long before you noticed or you were told that there's something not quite right with your gut health?
But like I said, plenty of times backwards and forwards chasing health challenges in the medical arena. And then just before I got married, I decided to go and see a naturopath who actually discovered through the testing that they did that I had food sensitivities to salicylates and amines. And those chemicals sometimes arrive naturally under the skin or within the skin of fruit and vegetables. So there was a whole lot of food challenges and testing that I did with my naturopath in the Hunter back then. And that was a real eye-opener. During that time, I lost a lot of weight. I felt better. But although I did feel so good, the diet that I was on at the time wasn't sustainable. Like I just couldn't live on those foods long term. There just wasn't enough broad variety in my diet back then. Yeah, real lack of nutrients in some areas. So, yeah, that kind of sent me on this journey down natural therapies to try and find the resolve for what was going on in my body. It was an interesting time.
It's quite a process to do that testing, and then you said fruits and vegetables, the ones that contain the higher levels of the salicylates and amines. Did you have to do a protocol where you took them out of your diet and then reintroduced them slowly? And
I absolutely did.
It's quite a process.
It was. Taking them out was really interesting because then it gave us clear indication of, what was going on and what was happening, because symptoms started to change. My bloating stopped, my skin started to settle. Then when it came time to reintroduce those, it wasn't actually done in a very gentle way. I kind of had to bombard my system. Like one of my sensitivities is bananas. Mm-hmm. If I have one banana every couple of days, I'm okay. But on this particular testing day, I think I had to have like 2 or 3 in a day. And it was the same with dark chocolate. So there was a testing phase with dark chocolate as well. And that was horrendous. I remember having headaches. I remember feeling revolting. I remember suffering greatly from the testing phase. So it was obvious what was affecting me from the testing series. But yeah, it was so interesting.
Harsh at the time.
It was tough.
You got some answers.
I did. It was good.
So then from there, when you found out you had those sensitivities, were there any other findings that were significant for your health?
That whole learning from the naturopath was still the basis around what I did going forward. But I also moved from the Hunter down to Wollongong area. So I had to leave what I was doing up there. I stayed with the allergy elimination clinic for a little while and did lots of visits with them and just having those allergies continually tested and removed, lessened. Yeah, so that gave me enough of a base to be able to eat a broad variety of foods and not suffer in the way that I was, because the majority of them were really good. Like nutritionally, they were sound. It was just that my system reacted erroneously to them. So it was a real process of testing, eliminating, testing again, and then doing that process with allergy elimination clinic. And then when I moved to Wollongong, I found a really good naturopath and I did a lot of protocols with her. Mm-hmm. But it was pretty much her that gave me the greatest overview of why my system didn't tolerate certain things. And she basically said, you need to eat out of the ground and off the land.
Yeah.
She said things in packets, and it's the processes that food now goes through that your system doesn't tolerate. So even that was another turning point. It made so much sense and it resonated really well with me. So yeah, that started the next part of the journey.
And what was that next part of the journey for you?
Like I said, I didn't realise how much of the things that I was eating that were good for me were upsetting my system, and how, well, not necessarily eliminating them, but healing my gut from the damage, I suppose, and learning about the importance of hydration and learning how much repair your body does when you get sound sleep.
Yes.
There was so much that she taught me, and it's crazy. You would think that we should know this. Innately we should know it, or we should be taught it at school. But we're not. So we fall into really bad habits of poor care, not intentionally, sometimes completely accidentally. But that's where I was at. So I actually did a whole lot of healing with her. I would go and have colonic irrigation, which is not for everybody.
How did you find that? I've not tried it.
Amazing. It's actually not the most comfortable thing to have done. But my deepest healing came from those treatments with her.
So after the colonics, you said you felt better. So were they like less bloating? What symptoms reduced or eliminated for you?
Oh, there was a whole lot of symptoms, Cass. My digestive function was massively improved. I didn't have discomfort. My hormonal balance was more in check than it had ever been. My mental clarity was superior. Wow. And my skin and my eyes, and there was all these changes that came. But I did a whole lot of gut healing with her, and I was probably with her for about 8.5 or 9 years, before she stopped practicing. So
at that stage, at the end of that 8 or 9 years, what age were you at that point?
I would have been in my early 40s, mid 40s, I suppose.
After she stopped practicing, did you have any more points along your journey that have helped you, or have you just kept a protocol from there?
Well, I've been using essential oils for many, many years, probably for 20 years before doTERRA actually came my way. But the essential oils I was using, I didn't realise they were synthetic, and I just used them for smell. I wasn't thinking that they might have been able to offer some, medicinal purpose or some benefit. Yeah. But then doTERRA came my way at the gym. So that opened a whole new doorway to natural healing and being able to support myself daily. So that was the next part of the steps after.
You mentioned essential oils and initially using them for the smell, so inhaling them. What are some of the most common essential oils that you found helpful, and how have you used them with your own health?
Tasting lemon essential oil in a protein ball at the gym literally snapped my brain. I was like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever tasted. And then I questioned the girl that gave it to me. I said, you can't eat essential oils. And she said, why not? They're plant and you should absolutely be able to eat them. And if you can't eat your essential oils, what are they and what's in them?
Right.
So I went down the rabbit hole then, but I bought a kit. So the starter kit had 6 single oils in it and 4 blends, and I bought it home, and we weren't flush for cash at the time. And my husband said, what is this witch shit you bought? And I'm not touching it. And I said, that's okay, I'm going to use it on myself and the kids. I'd done some education with that, and I used literally every single oil and every single blend down to the last little drop. And I used it for coughs, colds, flus. So that was the next doorway into health and wellness for my whole family.
And so from doTERRA coming your way, you loved it so much that you're now a doTERRA representative, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate and have been now for 9+ years. And I grew an accidental business.
How does that happen?
I had like 5 jobs at the time, and I really wasn't looking for another job, but I was having such profound results and responses from using the oils on my family that, you can't help but share that with your friend. So I just got really excited and started sharing the oils and, what my experiences were with my friends, and referring them back to the girl that sort of invited me into the business. And I'd say to her, Cass is going to contact you because I've spoken to her about this and she's really interested in the kit. And weeks had passed and my upline would say, Lise, she hasn't contacted me. Maybe it's time that you do this yourself and support your own friends. Continue to support them by helping them get these, through you rather than me. They don't know me. So yeah, I just got excited and started sharing the oils and, enrolling people into this natural wellness sort of self-supported thing. And yeah, I grew a business.
What a beautiful business, because you're so passionate about health and well-being and you get to share it with others. It's really an individualised thing. Like some essential oils you might love, other people gravitate to other fragrances or uses.
You're absolutely right, though. It really is individualised.
I found them really helpful for stress relief and just putting on in the background to sort of find them really calming, certain blends or certain essential oils. Do you find that with people who are gravitating towards you, would that be one of the things that draws people to essential oils initially?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Smell. And, our smell can evolve and change our likes for different aromas, and it's usually based on what we need at the time. Our bodies are really clever at knowing what they like. Like some people really enjoy the smell of coffee and other people are really repulsed by it. But if you think about smell being the same as music, where it takes you back to a time or a place or a memory, be it good or bad. You can have, music be an anchor for good or bad memories, and aroma is exactly the same.
It's strong.
It's strong in the limbic part of our brain, and, it controls the way we feel. We can snap a gum leaf like off a eucalyptus tree and
amazing.
just go Oh, and it does this thing. It allows our body to experience these chemical reactions that are completely out of our control, good or bad. So my suggestion is, use the smells that you enjoy because they're very good for your system, and just avoid the ones that you don't, so you can stay out of that heightened cortisol space. It definitely, for emotions and mood and to uplift a funky feeling, or even a smell in the house, you can use them for that as well. So, but emotions are very big in what we do, and a lot of people come to us for emotional support,
Right.
because of how the natural compounds in the essential oils work in our nervous system through the limbic part of our brain.
You mentioned before using the essential oils when your family might have had coughs and colds. Some of the oils are exactly what's in, like a Vicks Vapor Rub, but here you can blend the essential oils, or do they have a blend already?
That would be Easy Air.
Right.
And Easy Air is the clear blend, so it's for clearing our airways. There are lots of different single essential oils that make up that blend. So blends are really powerful because you don't just get the one smell, you get the mix. They're blended specifically for their chemical constituents and how they can positively affect our body systems. But Easy Air is one that is pretty much in constant use in most houses of people that I know that I've shared oils with throughout winter.
Can you, apart from inhaling it through a diffuser, is that one safe to apply topically, or do you have to use a carrier oil?
There's lots of power in using a carrier oil for topical application, and I do encourage that. Everyone has different levels of tolerance and sensitivity. So when we add a carrier oil to our essential oils to use them topically, it allows for the constituents from the essential oil to be absorbed into the bloodstream before evaporation happens. So we do get more absorption from using carrier oils when we apply the essential oils topically. And there's also a lot of evaporation if we don't. So we might get a quick absorption without a carrier oil, but we also lose a lot of the benefits because, a lot of it is evaporated into the air. Right. They're volatile because they're pure plant compounds.
Yes.
So I guess the carrier oil suspends them in the surface layers of the skin and allows more absorption. And you will also amplify absorption if you then wrap up. So, if you're going to use Easy Air, instead of Vicks on your chest, you would put it in a carrier oil, mix a drop or two based on, the age, or the dilution is really important. So if you're working with a small child, make the dilution quite mild and apply carrier oil and rub it in. But if you put up a singlet over the top, a jumper over the top, you increase absorption.
Right.
So that's another good way to amplify the benefit. On the soles of the feet are really good. The skin there is way more resistant, so there's more tolerance, and just pop socks on over the top.
I love that.
But blend with a carrier oil. And the beautiful thing about it is, being all natural, you're not introducing, petroleum or anything like that we sometimes experience with Vicks. We don't think about the damage that could do to our systems at the time. We know Vicks works, but we don't think about the other things that it's affecting.
Comes
or that
along
could be.
with it.
Yeah. I mean, Vicks has been a great product for all these years.
Yeah, there's a natural alternative.
Yeah, even the peppermint, spearmint, supermint.
I've been using that since I met you because I didn't realise the application, just inhaling it just out of the bottle really opens up your sinuses, which I struggle with at times. So, that's been awesome.
The mints are great for people that suffer from, airborne challenges because, usually in winter when we have the winds, that stirs up a lot of allergy symptoms for people.
There is quite a lot to know, and then there's needing to know what oils can't be applied topically, what oils sort of don't go together. Can you direct people to, apart from yourself, can you direct people to any specific resources if they want to find out a bit more about the safety and efficacy of the essential oils?
Absolutely. His name is Dr. Scott Johnson. You can find him on social media. He's written a plethora of books. He's got, probably 25 years, if not more, knowledge of testing and researching essential oils. There's also an app that I use that I absolutely love, and I recommend all my people get it. It's called Modern Essentials Plus, ME Plus. The base version is, I think, $5.99. And each time you open that app on your phone, it updates with any new products. You can basically search an essential oil that doTERRA has or an ailment that you might get support with a particular oil, and it'll bring up a plethora of options as far as, oils or what the symptoms might be for you to go, okay, then, for airways, it says I can use Easy Air as a blend or I can use peppermint. And it tells you that it has little symbols, so it might have a teardrop to mean you can take it internally, or it might have a squiggle, which means you can use it in the diffuser. It might also have, what's the other one? I think it's a hand, which means you can blend it with a carrier oil and apply it topically.
Oh, that's helpful.
It's very helpful. And it's just like having a little Palm Pilot in your hand where you've got resources. So if you've got a product and you don't know how to use it, you can literally punch in whatever the product is.
I was just going to ask that. Is that the app where you can look up, or it gives you suggested uses for each oil? Yeah. Can you search via, say, cold and flu, and it gives you suggestions?
I guess if you're looking for cold and flu, you might want to look down and punch in maybe respiratory system, because that's the system that we often have suffering when we've got a cold or a flu, or antibacterial or antiviral. You can even punch in those words. It's a really comprehensive system.
Is that a doTERRA related app, or are they independent?
They're all doTERRA named blends.
Right. But they have their single essential oil properties on there as well?
All of that. Pretty sure the people who wrote that app are clinical aromatherapists who actually have their business with doTERRA.
Okay.
And I hope I've got that right. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I feel fairly confident, because otherwise, why would they have the blends named as doTERRA?
Right. It is a good resource. I've used it before to educate myself about patchouli. What does that offer? Or wild orange. What are some of the uses I might find for this? It's good. It's easy.
And it is. And it's so good to be empowered to have that right in your hand too, to not have to go, I have to contact Lisa. And if I'm busy or if I'm at work and your situation is acute and you're looking for help straight away, that's not helpful for you. And you don't feel empowered in that situation either. I share it with all my people because I just feel like I can access straight away.
You've had such a diverse career, from hairdresser to personal trainer, and you mentioned that you're currently working as a disability support worker. What I gather from that is that you're obviously good with people and you like people, and I can hear how passionate you are about sharing what you've discovered has worked for you to raise awareness for others in case they're looking to try alternative therapies. So with your current role as a disability support worker, what lights you up with that work?
I think it's the ability to positively impact someone who has more challenges than you. To be able to empower them to be as self-sufficient as they can possibly be, or to not draw attention to their disabilities even, because sometimes they are so able, but the focus is so much on their disability that they feel more disabled than they actually are. I literally try and make everyone feel they're capable of doing whatever it is they really want to do. And that's my greatest jam. And I celebrate them hardcore. I do.
Oh, I love that.
I bring my personal training into one of the participants that I support, and she's beautiful. And she's so capable and so able. And she'll respond in a way like she might say to me, I can't do that. And I say, you actually have to try first before you tell me that you can't. And even if she has a really very average attempt, and I know her well, so I know when she's having an average attempt at something, I celebrate her hardcore and go, oh my goodness, you're so amazing.
She tried, yeah.
And then that is the encouragement for her to try the next level of the exercise. And I love that I can regress movement or progress movement based on what I know about her and what I know she's physically able and capable of. But we use the essential oils with her all the time.
Yeah.
For regulating her mood, for regulating her emotions, for supporting sleep, because there's a whole lot of frustrations that she has because she can't express or can't do, or we use the essential oils with her all the times. We use Brave and Courage from the kids range because they're super simple for her to understand, and she knows how they make her feel. I can't explain to her how it makes her feel. She knows when she uses them that it makes her feel differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just uplifting people and making them feel like they're capable and able of doing things that others might deem they can't or don't encourage them to even try is the biggest thrill for me.
That's
the biggest thrill.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love how you focus on what they're able to do.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. And it's so empowering for them.
I've taught her to actually say to me, I'll keep a name out of it just for
Yes, for
privacy,
sure.
but I've taught her to say to me, I say to her all the time, I am. And she says, I am amazing.
Oh,
So she has to say that. And when she
Yes.
does that, the very, very first thing I say when she's successful, I am. And she goes, I'm amazing.
I love
Flexes a
that.
bicep. But
wonderful.
that's the biggest thrill for me. And, seeing them get results from the products and having them feel differently just from cracking a bottle. And even at work when I'm doing their hair, I work as a hairdresser in the disability space.
Oh my God, it all comes together.
It does. It's
Everything.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And I take the oils
Yep.
and I say, would you like to try this? It might make you feel this, or this. And I allow them to smell them. And if they feel okay, they can roll them on or they can take a drop. So I kind of
feels
blend
right
it
for
in.
them.
Yeah. But they've got choice. They don't have to.
For sure.
But I've never had anyone go, oh, no, that's yuck. Like they're always like almost bathing in it, getting it out and putting it all over their body.
Yeah.
But so I do marry the two up and it just makes people feel amazing.
Oh my God, you have all these beautiful skills and talents and they all coming together. And I can see on your face right now for the listeners, Lisa is glowing and vibrant.
Yeah.
It
It's a good
uplifts
job.
you.
It's a great job. And it's a great way to be able to affect them in a way that they don't even really understand, but it's obvious to them that they feel differently from, whatever the experience is with whatever the product might be. All the things that I've learned in all the jobs that I've had, I do marry them all together in a lot of cases to support whoever I'm with whatever they're going through.
It's you'd think at the outset they're so diverse, but I can see how it's all coming together for you to be able to provide the services and the personal touch that you're providing.
Yeah. I had no idea that, I could affect or impact people in the way that I do. And I don't think much about it. I just do what I do because I love it. And I know
special.
that
You're a people person, but again, Lisa is beaming. You can see that you really are fulfilled by helping others.
Yeah, I think that, I think when you're of service to others, that's the biggest thrill.
Yeah.
We always focus about what we don't know and we
Yes.
often let that hold us back. But
Everyone has their own unique skills and talents and interests and abilities. And this is how yours is all woven together in what you're offering now. It's great.
Yeah, it is wonderful. It is really wonderful. I think too, because I feel so good and I have the capacity now to be able to help others based on, my own experiences and, impact and change the way and help them feel better. Yeah, that's been a bit life-changing too for both of us, for whoever I'm working with. Yeah, it's been fun. It's a good journey.
I wanted to ask you to share, if you will, 3 things or 3 ways that you mind your own being.
Definitely sound supplementation and then supporting your emotions, how you're thinking and you're feeling, and taking time out. So most mornings that I'm available, I make hubby and I a coffee and we go sit by the water.
Oh, nice.
And we might be there for an hour and a half. And those moments are sometimes flat out in conversation and we're chatting flat out about whatever. It might be business, it might be the way we feel, the kids, whatever. And other days it's complete silence.
Whatever you need at the time.
And it's unspoken. It just happens. Whatever we need just happens there. But we live in a beautiful part of the world and we're blessed to be able just to go and sit by the water, which is literally 2 blocks
close.
from home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely looking after the way you're feeling, because once you feel better, everything else tends to work better and you function better. Minimising overwhelm.
Yeah.
So definitely, the way you feel, good rest, hydration. There's probably a few stacks that I could pop in there, but really focus on the way you feel and honour that and try and do the best you can to support yourself, because no one else knows the way you feel and no one else knows your body like you do. And I think if we sit and just have some stillness, we can listen to what our body's trying to communicate and serve ourselves in a really beautiful way, naturally in most cases.
I love that. I'm all about mindfulness and taking time out to just sit in stillness, just to, get your best ideas, to check in with how you're feeling, what's going on. Yeah. So if people are interested in contacting you or finding out more about you and your offerings, where can they find you?
Oh, I'd love to hear from anybody who's interested. If you have a doTERRA representative, someone who's doing the business, please reach out to them. You obviously, already have connection and communication with them. And if you don't, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at Lisa Costa at Rogue Wellness.
When I've looked at your Instagram page, I noticed that sometimes you offer some events. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. My strength isn't social media, so you probably see that I'm quite inconsistent there, and I apologise for that. It's just not my strength. My strength is, and my love is, to be face to face and knee to knee with people around a table, giving people a hands-on experience with the products. So if you're listening and you're interested in having an event, a product experience in your own home where you're under no obligation except to invite a handful of friends in and just try the products to see for yourself, I'd love to come and do that. You can reach out to me via Messenger or Instagram messages. But yeah, I do host events locally, and I often advertise them on my social media platforms and pages. And once a month, we have balance events that are held here locally in Warilla, and the tickets are public, so anyone can come to those. And we address different topics of those every month. So there's a few different ways that we can do. I can organise something privately and personal for people, or I can do something as a collective and invite people in. So yeah,
plenty of options for all different tastes and preferences.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you again for coming on today and sharing your personal health story. And yeah, I think the listeners are really going to enjoy hearing from you.
Yeah, thanks so much for inviting me. It's such a pleasure to be here. Like I said before, it's been wonderful. It's been a really wonderful journey.
Well, thank you again for sharing your journey.
Thanks, Cass. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Mind Your Being podcast. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please follow the show wherever you get your podcasts and share it with a friend who might enjoy it too. If you have a moment, please leave a quick review. It really helps others discover the podcast. Thanks again for being here. Take care, and until next time, mind your being.